Hey guys, I've done this video a couple times because I had a stutter, and then I don't know what just happened to my last video, so here I am again. I have my notes in case I have any problems because my brain's an idiot. By the time we're through, I'll be a professional in this video. But basically, this video is about Sudep, which is sudden unexpected death in a person with epilepsy. 1 in 1,000 people die from this each year. 34% of that is children. And a Disney star died of it in 2019. Cameron Boyce, he was only 20 years old. And epilepsy affects more people than multiple sclerosis, cerebral palsy, muscular dystrophy, and Parkinson's combined, yet receives very few dollars for these. And Sudep is a very serious thing that needs more awareness and to be more dealt with. Sudep is basically a person who dies, obviously, but they don't call it Sudep until they rule out every cause. And if there is no cause for the death upon an autopsy report, then it is ruled as Sudep. And the person is often found in bed with their face down. So most of these people who die from Sudep actually die from nocturnal seizures, and they have almost been a statistic. Last month I had weird seizures that started and they did not stop, and I came out of it delirious, and my blood pressure was like sky high. I may have mentioned it in a video, I do not remember, but one of the very first one was when my head jerked really hard, and then I found myself face down in my pillow, like my face was all up in there. And I sleep on my side. And then after that came the weird moaning with digging my nails into my skin episodes before it jerked me. And those are very weird to me because I normally just have my clonks in my sleep. But given the way they were, I feel like I might have had a grand mal or two. I'm not sure. It's been a while since I've had a grand mal. Like, I have not had a grand mal my whole adulthood. So I thought that I didn't have them as a child neither because I remember nothing in my childhood. Well, apparently I had some as a child. My mother told me the other day, and I was just like, huh, okay. And then they started to make me fly. Next thing I know, they're starting to throw me from one side to the next at my boyfriend, and he didn't know he almost died until I told him the next day. So that was interesting. Thank God they upped my meds, and I have not had a very big one since then, because around that time, because of that, Sudep has been on my mind a lot. So that is why I'm making this video. When Cameron Boyce died, there was some awareness around it for a while, but it died down. But I want to get it out there because it's, I don't know, I was almost freaked when I found out he died from Sudep. I didn't even know he had epilepsy. So most of the time they are found in their bed. The high risks are obviously the nocturnal ones and uncontrolled seizures. Now, you're probably thinking, why don't you add tonic-clonic to this? That is because tonic-clonic is bad whether it's in your sleep or in the daytime. And technically, if they're in your sleep, it's still a nocturnal seizure. So I just put nocturnal seizure and uncontrolled seizures. And ways to possibly prevent it would be to take your meds, take it as prescribed by your neurologist. Take it each time, each day. If you're a caregiver, make sure they take their medicine on time every day. You can have a seizure from missed medication. Try to avoid triggers like heat or caffeine can cause seizures. So like if you have any seizures directly after caffeine, write that down. Certain foods can cause triggers. Whatever you think your triggers may be, try to avoid that. And stress can be a trigger, so that brings us back to triggers, obviously, but to lower amount of stress that you possibly can. If you're a caregiver, try to avoid putting them under a lot of stress. And if you feel that they're in a stressful situation, to take them out immediately, especially if stress causes seizures. People around me kind of have a hard time grasping that, but try to avoid getting them stressed out. Document your seizures, and if you're a caregiver, document the seizures for them, especially if they like can't talk or write. Like in a notebook, or I use EPILEPSY app, which is easier for me because I'm always on the go and I don't have paper and pen always near me. So I use EPILEPSY app, which basically you can document your seizures, auras, side effects. You can put when they'll take their medicine and it'll remind you all that stuff. So it's been pretty useful for me. If they have any new medications, to document the side effects of those medications. My mom's pretty good about noticing things that I don't typically notice, but then again, she was my mother and she's seen me go through some seizures and weird medicine stuff, and me and medicine just do not get along. Like, they have never been fully controlled and they just get worse as I age and they're freaking annoying. But also document anything new that you might have seen that may have triggered the seizure, especially if the seizure happened seconds after, to try to find a pattern and talk to the neurologist or a pathologist about it. If you're new with seizures in general, you're going to want a neurologist and a pathologist. Not both, one or the other. My brain. And then the last thing is to basically train your household in Seizure First Aid. This one's important so they know what to do, especially if you have tonic-clonic seizures. You don't really want someone putting something in your mouth. If you have seizures, you probably already know that, but if you're new, you want to know that. You will not swallow your tongue. So, do not stick anything in their mouth. Turn them over to their side. Protect their head. Make sure they're in a safe spot and nothing sharp. They won't hit themselves on nothing sharp and get injured. And do not hold them down. And you're going to have to wait it out because there's no stopping a seizure once it starts. I hope you guys found this video educational. It was kind of hard to make, and it is kind of hard to think about since the seizures that I was having, they did kind of scare me a little bit because they were different than what I'm used to. So I hope you guys found this video informative, and until next time, bye guys.